Welcome back to the Playbook. Now, this is a little bit of a side wander here. There's some things I don't understand, but some things I do know, especially about history. And something I'll just come out and say. I have no clue why 88% of black people vote for Democrats. I don't. I don't know why you need a white liberal holding your hand and telling you what you're worth, what you can do, what you can't do. Because here's the thing. It's always been a Republican, which have been equally black as white, that have made sure those rights stay free. Democrats, Party of the South, Party of the KKK, well, they just got involved in 1964, and I'm going to tell you how it happened. A little story, if you will. And damn it, if you hear this and you still vote Democrat, I can't help you. I cannot help you. If you're white and you vote Democrat, I don't care about you. I just don't. You're a waste and you're a disservice to any other race. You know what? Anyway, 1958, President Eisenhower, who also in 1952 initiated, Civil Rights Act. They got zero Democrat support, so it didn't go through in 52 or in 58. Once President Kennedy was assassinated, Lyndon Baines Johnson knew his old plantation ass. And when I tell you there's not been a worse human being that's been president than LBJ, who you think signed, he's the one that signed the Civil Rights Act? Yay. No. There's a conversation the night before the vote. He's talking to Wallace. He says, Wallace, if we pull this off, those N, I, and you do the rest of the words for the N, you do the rest of the letters for the N word, will vote. If we pull this off, those will vote Democrat for 200 years. We're 60-something years in, and 88% of black people still vote for them. Democrats. They didn't care about you before then, and they've just used you since, and now they're pushing you aside for trans and people coming from South America. I've always just thought of, look, that these are, people that are citizens of America are citizens of America. And we should fight against communism. We should fight against overbearing, overreach, anything that deals with the government coming to us when, in fact, we have rights that keep those away, and those are the Bill of Rights. If you're a black person and never read the Bill of Rights, literally read the first 10 and put your name in front of them, outside of term limits, there's nothing else you need. Women, if you've never read the first 10 amendments and put your name in front of it, we should have got that right in the beginning. We didn't. But the party that got it wrong was Democrats, not Republicans. We never changed sides. Anyone who has ever known me will tell you that has never been a factor with me. Along with every other white person I've been around in Texas. We just don't care. We like you for who you are. But we do know them Democrats in Texas. Everything is based off of race. Well, there's a reason for that. And so as you go through your day today, I want you to think about something. 88% of people backed Joe Biden. 88% backed Joe Biden and told you weren't black if you didn't vote for him. I didn't know you needed that kind of affirmation. I really didn't. I know this. You can't find a point where Trump was racist. I know that. I know you can bring up 1973 and the slumlord situation, but if you look at the demographics of the slumlord, of the apartments, and there's a bunch of Mexicans and whites mixed in there too. So, or I don't know what Hispanic race it was. There's white people, black people, and Hispanics in there. So you really need to find where Trump was racist exactly and show me. I've been trying to find for years, can't find it. And I'm studious as shit, which means I'm looking for every angle. I know this. He has donated to more black businesses than any other American in history. And that includes our government, who's using taxpayer money. He's using his own. Black employment was at its lowest under him, but I don't know. Maybe he's a misogynist. Well, you know what? He's a guy. I've said stupid things, and if you say you haven't, oh, Lord. God love you for lying, because he does not like a lie. But you know what? I'm not going to get in the judging people. What I will say is this. Black folks, start studying. Look at history. If you want to find real history, it's out there. You have to check different sources. You cannot depend on the education you found in school. It was the same thing I was taught. If you're my age, and there's a little bit of a change there, but there's a big change in what our kids learn from what we learned. And it's not okay for our kids to be political, and it's not okay for kids to think they're oppressed in America, living in wonderful neighborhoods and living free. That is the communist construct that was put in place, well, by a man named Saul Alinsky. Labor Union. Teachers Association. That's where this has come down from. If you wondered why, it hit our workers, it hit our kids, along with our teachers. And that's what migrated into our culture. And if you don't believe me, just go look it up. You've been duped. Along with a lot of white people, but you know what? You can't change them. White people have white guilt plus the dummy syndrome. You can't change white liberals. They're stupid and they have white guilt. So you have Republican white people that are, well, I'm not apologizing for anything my ancestors did. I didn't do it. I'd have probably shot them if they did something that was said they did. But hey, you know what? I'll show you respect. You show me respect, we'll be fine. That's what Republicans do. Anyway, long story short, that's my sidewinder there. I want you to look up Lyndon Baines Johnson and what he said about the N-words voting Democrat for 200 years. I want you to look up Sal Alinsky and what he did with the unions and what he did with school boards. I want you to look at what the school boards were governed to do by the Communist Party. And then long story short, I'm going to challenge you to stop saying how oppressed you are here in America. You're watching this right now, more than likely on a phone that costs $1,100. And I'm not one to sugarcoat anything. If anyone has ever known me, and I grew up in a we called it, it was diverse. We just thought it was the way to be. Families got together, cooked out. We didn't know any different. So race don't mean anything to me. It's the person. So I don't care what you think. I'm just going to tell you the truth. And so there you go. I would in my old life, I would have thrown up two middle fingers and said something, but all I'm going to say is do your homework and stop this madness.